Leon never liked big changes. She preferred things like reading close to her window or walking through the same familiar streets every day. But life wasn't something she could pause or rewind. Everything started shifting when her mom got a business opportunity abroad. It wasn't some dramatic divorce. No yelling, no slammed doors. Just one calm conversation and a suitcase waiting by the door. "I love you," her mom had said, hugging her tightly. "But I have to do this for myself." And that was it. After she left, Leah and her dad moved to a different city to start fresh. Their apartment was smaller, but brighter. Her dad, ever the optimist, called it cozy, and cracked a joke about how they finally had an excuse to eat takeout more often. He wasn't cold or distant. In fact, he was the opposite, goofy, full of bad puns, and always trying to make her laugh. "New town, new school, new people," he said, spinning his car keys on his finger that morning. "Maybe a cute boy or two?" Leah groaned but smiled. That was just like him. Even when her world felt like it was cracking, he found a way to soften the fall. But no amount of dad jokes could stop the nerves building in her chest. "This place has potential," he said, holding up a crooked picture frame with a grin. "Give me 2 days and it'll feel like a palace." Leah smiled faintly, watching him try to wrestle with a roll of tape. He talked a lot about how this move was a fresh start, about the new school, about how proud he was of her for handling it all so well. She didn't always respond, but she listened. The truth was, she didn't hate the move. But she didn't love it either. It just was. That evening, they finally got the basics set up and her bedroom was filled with unopened boxes and quiet. She sat on her bed, staring at the new school uniform hanging by the closet. Navy skirt, white blouse, plain navy blazer. She swallowed, her chest tight with worry. New people, new teachers, new rules. What if they ask me to introduce myself? What if they stare? What if no one talks to me? Leah didn't like being noticed. She preferred slipping through days quietly. Like a breeze that touched no one and left nothing behind, she lay down, eyes drifting to the ceiling. "Please let me blend in," she thought. "Please let this just be normal." Then she falls asleep. Her dad opens the door and finds her sleeping, then he quickly covered her with a blanket. Looking at her. "You must be really tired, my little angel, you have been through a lot." Then he helps her arrange her boxes. Tomorrow would be her first day at a new school. But tonight, she let sleep take her, tucked in by the comfort of familiar silence. The next day. "Leah, you up?" Her dad's cheerful voice called from the kitchen. She got dressed slowly, still adjusting the unfamiliar new school uniform. By the time she stepped into the kitchen, her dad was already dressed for work. His hair a little messy from rushing around. He was placing 2 sandwiches into a small bag. "Perfect timing. Grab your bag, we're eating on the go." She blinked. "Wait, what time is it?" "Late," he grinned. "But fashionable late." Moments later, they were in the car. Her dad gave her a juice box while steering with one hand. "You know, I once peed myself on my first day at a new school," he said, totally unprompted. Front of the whole class. "Traumatizing." "That's not helping," Leah muttered, though she smiled a little. "Point is, you'll do better than I did. Just be you. You're smart, kind, thoughtful. Someone's going to notice that." She didn't reply, but those words stayed with her. By the time they reached the school, she could barely breathe. "Go get him, sans Leah," her dad waved her goodbye. She smiled softly at him. The classroom was already half full. She knocked quietly, and the teacher. "Ah, you must be our new student. Come in." She introduced herself in the softest voice she could manage. "I'm Leah." Leah Song. A few students turned. A few didn't even look. But one person noticed. Evan. He was already seated near the window. And when the teacher pointed to the empty seat beside him, "You can sit here," he said gently. She nodded, murmuring a thank you as she sat down. "First day?" he asked after a moment, his tone quiet but kind. "Yeah. Don't worry. Everyone's still half asleep. You'll blend in just fine." That made her feel less nervous. As class started, Leah found herself calming down, not entirely, but enough to keep breathing steadily. Evan wasn't chatty or loud, but his presence was comforting. Like someone who'd seen a lot of first days before. She spent most of the lesson taking quiet notes, occasionally glancing at him when he helped her find the right page or passed her an extra worksheet. Maybe today won't be so bad after all, she thought. Just before lunch break, the door burst open, and a girl rushed in with a dramatic sigh. Sorry I'm late, Mrs. Han. The cafeteria line was a war zone. Then, without hesitation, she slid into the seat behind her and leaned forward. You're new. What's your name? Lia blinked. Lia. Cute name. I'm Mira. I'm usually the welcoming committee around here. But I guess Evan beat me to it. Evan chuckled under his breath without looking up from his book. Mira beamed. Don't let that calm face fool you, he's super nice. Anyway, if you need help with anything, lunch. People to avoid, teacher gossip, I got you. Lia was overwhelmed but also oddly grateful. For the first time in a while, she didn't feel invisible. Hours later, Lia hadn't expected him to be so bright. The boy sitting next to her, Evan, to be warm and nice. His smile was wide and genuine, like he actually enjoyed helping people. Here's the class schedule, he said. And the math teacher talks really fast. So don't be afraid to ask me for notes if you miss something. His voice was gentle, but not overly soft. Just kind. Confident, in a way that made her feel something. Thanks, she murmured. No problem. Oh, also, I'm Evan. Class president, unfortunately. He laughed at his own joke. Lia gave a small, surprised smile. Class president? She never imagined the cheerful type. But it made sense, the way he welcomed her without awkwardness. Like he'd done this before. Throughout the class, he made sure she was caught up, pointing to the right chapters, quietly explaining where they were in the lesson. And though she didn't say much, she felt it, he saw her. Not as the new girl, not as a burden. Just her. By the time the lunch bell rang, she had no idea where she was supposed to go. She stayed seated, watching as students started filing out. Evan stood and turned to her. Wanna come with me? I'll show you where everyone eats. She hesitated. It's okay, he said, already smiling. You don't have to talk much. I'll do all the work. And that's exactly what happened. He walked beside her through the halls, pointing out classrooms and teachers and weird school rules, telling her how the vending machine always eats your coins and which stairwell couples secretly meet in. He talked. She listened and smiled. And she didn't feel so alone anymore. In the cafeteria, he helped her get lunch and guided her to a table near the window. She was just sitting down when a voice called from across the room. Evan! You ditched me again, she said. It's the nice girl from earlier. Not ditched, Evan grinned. I was showing Lia around. New student. Myra's eyes snapped to Lia. Ooh, you're the new girl? Before Lia could answer, Mira sit. I'm Mira. Evan's childhood friend and the unofficial queen of the school. You're lucky, we're fun. Lia blinked. The girl was a lot. But not in a bad way. She had this way of talking like they were already friends. Nice to meet you, Lia said softly. So where'd you transfer from? Mira asked, staring at her. Just moved here. From the city. City girl, huh? Mira smirked. You're gonna hate it here for like a week. Then it'll grow on you. Like mold. Evan nearly choked. Lia smiled, genuinely this time. She didn't know where this would lead. She didn't know these people, or this school, or how long it would take for it all to feel normal. But for now, it wasn't so bad. Don't forget to like and subscribe for part 2.